Now, before the Diddy trial had kicked off, I had made a video talking about the chances of Drake being mentioned in this trial. Well, it looks like it didn't take too long for him to be talked about because when Cassie had took the stand, she had brought up a story about her, Drake, French Montana, and Diddy. And when I heard French Montana, I couldn't help but to think about the Splash Brothers situation, the 10 Snipe Commandments. But before we get into that, let's talk about how Cassie had brought up Drake's name at trial. Now, keep in mind that we're going to try to keep a timeline, a steady timeline here for all these events that occurred. Now, in this timeline, we're going to go back to 2013. It says here that Cassie testifies that Diddy was going crazy on Cassie the night before her appearance at Drake's OVO Fest back in 2013.
Day 3 of the Diddy trial, and I'm here outside of the Manhattan Federal Courthouse on this very rainy day where Cassie has continued giving her gut-wrenching testimony. Today, she took the stand and name-dropped rappers Drake and French Montana, saying she and Diddy were packing to go to Drake's music festival in Canada when Diddy threw her into a bed frame. Cassie said it left her with a significant gash over her eye and described a photo of her with French Montana, saying she purposely styled her hair to hide the injury. The jury appeared shocked as they were shown still images of Cassie from freak-offs. Cassie then testified that Diddy would threaten to release those videos to embarrass her. She went on to describe getting painful infections from the freak-offs and then having to participate while suffering from UTIs and other gastrointestinal issues. She said eventually she became addicted to opioids because she relied on them to recover from the freak-offs, saying, quote, "Opiates made me feel numb, which is why I relied on them so heavily." Cassie's giving this testimony all while being 8.5 months pregnant. This is the first time in 6 years that she and Diddy have been in the same room. Diddy's family have been supporting him throughout, but it's worth noting that his 18-year-old twin daughters were not in court today after sitting in during yesterday's disturbing testimony. I'm Kayla Brantley, host of the Trial of Diddy podcast. Make sure to listen for the latest updates wherever you get your podcasts.
So she was going to pack her bags, take a trip, go see Drake at the OVO Fest over there in Canada. P. Diddy gets violent. He gets upset. But even though Diddy was giving her a hard time, he still let her go. She was still seen there. And crazy enough, she even took a picture with French Montana there. And like I said, the fact that French Montana is involved in the story makes it all the more crazy, considering when we know about the 10 Snipe Commandments, Drake, and their bro code that they follow. Now, moving forward, eventually, around December of 2014, Diddy gets into an altercation with Drake. It says here that Diddy had punched Drake over a song. This was when they got into a whole fight for 0 to 100, December 9, 2014. It says here, according to our sources, the song that sparked the fight was 0 to 100, The Catch Up, which was just nominated for 2 Grammys, Best Rap Performance and Best Rap Song. Diddy assaulted Drake early Monday morning because of a feud over a song. As we reported, Diddy punched Drake at Live nightclub, and we were told it was because Diddy felt disrespected by the rapper. Our sources say producer Boy Wonder had given both Diddy and Drake a song to record more than 8 months ago. We're told that Diddy sat on the song, which frustrated Drake because he wanted to record it. So recently, Drake recorded the song on his own, which pissed Diddy off. Diddy saw Drake at Live Monday for the first time since the song was released. Sources close to Diddy say he confronted Drake, who just blew him off. And that's when Diddy said, "You'll never disrespect me again," and then punched him. Drake later on ended up at the ER because of the ruckus and was hit in the shoulder. But it seems like this wasn't the only thing that upset Diddy. Nobody was really waiting for a Diddy song to release, even back in 2014. So why was he getting mad about this? But the other reason why they could have been arguing back in 2014 around this time could have been because of Cassie. It says that Diddy smacks Drake after he tries to get at Cassie at Live in Miami. Diddy and Drake allegedly clash at Live over Cassie and music rights. The hip-hop world is buzzing after rumors surfaced of a physical altercation between Diddy and Drake at Miami's famed Live nightclub on Sunday, December 7, 2014. Reportedly, the drama started when Diddy became incensed over Drake's attempt to flirt with his lifelong-time girlfriend, Cassie Ventura. Adding fuel to the fire, sources claim the scuffle was also linked to disagreements over music rights. Though no video footage has surfaced, eyewitnesses and social media reactions have amplified the speculation, leaving fans to wonder what truly went down. As details trickle in, fans are left piecing together a narrative of what might have transpired at the nightclub, where tensions appear to have boiled over between two hip-hop biggest names. The rumored clash has left fans of both Diddy and Drake shocked, particularly as Diddy, a seasoned veteran of the music industry, is rarely seen in high-profile altercations. This incident raises questions about the sometimes blurred lines between personal relationships and professional competition in the fast-paced, often volatile world of hip-hop. It says, according to sources close to the incident, Diddy confronted Drake at Live regarding both Cassie and an unresolved issue over the music rights. Allegedly, Drake was persistently flirting with Cassie despite her relationship with Diddy. Observers claim Diddy finally had enough and slapped Drake, leading to a physical scuffle outside the club. The confrontation reportedly began inside Live but spilled outdoors, where the tension escalated. After the incident, Drake reportedly left the club while Diddy returned inside unbothered and continuing his night as if nothing had happened. So not only was there speculation that Drake and Diddy had gone into a fight over 0 to 100, but also because of Cassie. There was speculation, there was rumors that Drake was flirting with Cassie in front of Diddy, and that pissed Diddy off, and that's when he started to fight Drake. Now, people think about 0 to 100 first, but if it was rumored that they were arguing about Drake flirting with Cassie, then this is starting to look very sketchy. Now, I want to remind you, another person that's present around all of this is French Montana. French Montana was signed to Diddy back in 2012, and he was somebody that was named by Cassie in trial, was there at OVO Fest with her, was signed to Diddy and chilling with Drake at the same time. Because while all this is happening in 2014, let's not forget to mention later on in 2015, French Montana was the one that was able to patch up things with Diddy and Drake. He was able to get them to squash their beef. It says initial reports from 2015 claim that Sean Diddy Combs and Drake squashed their beef over the phone, but French Montana said that he played a mediator for the two in person. While appearing in the Breakfast Club on June 2022, Montana said that the rapper hashed out their differences at one of his parties. Ironic enough, it's at a party, right? They both are like my best friends. So I'm like, y'all need to dead that. The No Stylist artist said when they came, they just spent the whole night talking to each other. So as you can see, French Montana was the one that patched things up a year later. Remember, they had just fought in 2014, allegedly over Cassie or music rights. And now we have French Montana, the Splash brother, making things right. They make things right at a party where they seem to talk for hours. And I think this is where they fix everything and become friends again. And I think Diddy becomes more than friends at this point. Splash brothers, in this case. It was even speculated that Drake could have been referencing the situation with Diddy and Cassie with the song 4 p.m. in Calabasas. Now, let me remind you that 4 p.m. in Calabasas was also the song that Drake had made when he was staying at the Hidden Hills. Without getting too into it, DJ Vlad had said that there was a lot of suspicious activity regarding Drake and parties at the Hidden Hills. A lot of things that he claimed could have been covered up. That's what he said. We'll keep it alleged. But it was at the Hidden Hills where Drake had made 4 p.m. in Calabasas, and where also he could have taken shots at Diddy. He says, take that, which is in reference to Diddy. No love in their heart, so they fake that. DiCaprio level, the way that they play that, which could be reference to Diddy and how he often chill with Leonardo DiCaprio. Y'all don't hear no songs. They hit my phone like you did that. They even hit my line like, where you been at? It's always on some shit like, when can I get a favor, or where my bitch at? Like, I'm about to tell you where she been at. Costa Correas, I got her kidnapped. She ain't sorry and I ain't sorry. It's too late for sorry. And this is the part where people think that he was talking about Cassie. Now, talking about kidnapped, and we're talking about this scenario here, this all just sounds crazy, especially when he's talking about Diddy. And despite this song coming out in 2016, it appears that Diddy and Drake had already made up at this point. According to French Montana, they had already squashed it. But the lyrics here still seem like he's taking shots at Diddy in regards to Cassie, talking about that situation that they had gotten into. Drake and French Montana share their 10 snipe commandments. It was a bro code that they had used for one night stands when they hook up with women, when they hook up with teens, is what they refer to them in the rule book or in the rule paper. These set of rules were laid out in 2016, a year after Diddy, French Montana, and Drake all made peace and became cool with each other. Now they're all best friends. Now they're all buddy-buddy. And Drake and French Montana decide to share their bro code with everybody. A lot of strange rules, a lot of disturbing things said on here, given the context. And I have gone over these in a recent video, but one that's sticking out to me now more than usual was the rule right here. It says, thou shalt be allowed to hunt in all jungles unless a trespass has been enforced verbally, which sounds like that one of your Splash brothers could flirt with any woman he pleases unless somebody tells him otherwise, unless somebody verbally opens their mouth and says that they can't flirt with them. Now they're posting these rules in 2016. I'm wondering if this rule was added by Drake because of the issues that happened between him and Diddy revolving around Cassie, allegedly. But it would make sense considering that they had got into a fight, an altercation, over Drake allegedly flirting with Cassie in front of Diddy. But now that they're all buddy-buddy, it seems like they just put these rules for them to follow so that way that doesn't happen anymore. Because after 2016, Drake, French, and Diddy, they're all cool at this point. And that's why I think that Diddy is another Splash brother. I think this rule was put there because of the situation revolving around Diddy and Drake. And it goes even far up to 2022 and 2023, where Drake, around the year of 2023, for New Year's to be exact, was chilling at a yacht party at St. Bart's with Lil Baby, Diddy, Meek Mill, Quavo, and none other than French Montana. This is the same yacht party where Diddy had his yacht and Drake had his yacht. This is when Drake gets involved with a separate case. This is when Drake gets named, or possibly will be named again, in a separate case revolving Little Rod, Diddy, and Cuba Gooding Jr. at this St. Bart's trip for New Year's. It's around this time where Little Rod accuses Cuba Gooding Jr. of doing unspeakable things on this yacht trip, the same yacht trip that Drake, French Montana, and Diddy are in. You can see here that Drake was chilling with Cuba Gooding Jr. at the time, as well as him talking about it in a recent clip as well.
She was my real estate agent.
She's a real estate agent. This nigga
She was looking into some things.
Yeah. And what's she looking into right now?
And hadn't seen him since that night where this guy with this picture that says that I had my shoulder on him and all this stuff, making it look sordid. Well, that picture, everyone in the room, there's probably 300 of us on the deck of P. Diddy's, I'm going to show you, on P. Diddy's boat, New Year's Eve. I went from one ship, Happy New Year. So I hung out with Tyson, and next ship, there's Drake. This ship had P. Diddy.
Drake was there.
So yeah, bro, I think Diddy became a splash brother after that whole situation went down. That's when Drake, French Montana, and Diddy got cool. Almost feels like these guys had a lot in common when it came to partying, and decided to squash the beef about Cassie and added all of these new rules in place so that way things like that won't happen between each other ever again, setting some boundaries amongst friends, amongst brothers. But all in all, man, I really do think that we're going to hear Drake's name a lot more frequently in this case, especially with the Little Rod case that is still ongoing. I did not expect Cassie to mention Drake as much as she did, but the fact that she mentioned French Montana as well got me thinking about the whole Splash Brother theory. And it got me thinking, after they had settled their differences in regards to Cassie, Diddy, and Drake, did they all just make up and make Diddy another Splash Brother, bro? I feel like they put all those rules that they shared in the Snipe Commandments so that way they don't get into any issues again with their fellow man, with their fellow Splash Brother. But as far as right now, man, I could tell you that we're probably going to hear Drake's name mentioned in this case more frequently than we thought, bro. But y'all tell me how you feel about this and get back to me, man. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video, man. Peace. Keep it legend.